Yeah, well, you can, easy for you to say.
Not so much.
All right. I'll try to control you.
Good luck.
Where's the control volume knob, though? I don't know. All right. Have a seat, and I will mute, and we shall begin. Just arriving on your seat, letting go of all the activity that brought you here in this present moment. Letting go of expectations, future thoughts about the day to come. Just let them be. And rest in this present moment. It doesn't mean the past and the future won't arise, but they arise in the present moment. You don't need to grab them or follow them. Just like sound, just like breathing, smell, or taste, they come and go. There's no need to engage with them. Doesn't mean you're trying to withdraw from them or shut them out. If you're thinking, you can just know the mind is thinking. If you're hearing, know that you're hearing. Feeling, know you're feeling.
Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahana Bhunaktu, Saha Viryam Karavavai, Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvashavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om
Tasya padena vacham malam sharirasya chavaitikena yopakaratam pavaram muninam patanjalim pranjaliranatosmi abahu prushakaram shankachakra-siddharinam sahasrashir samshvetam pranamami patanjalim. Hari Om.
Okay, if you're not sitting in Virasana, sit in Virasana. If you want to stretch your legs out and then go back to Virasana, do that, or just stay in the pose. We're not doing Supta, so don't get all excited. Later, okay? Good prop, Patty. Extend your arms. No, we're not going to do the Macarena. Okay. Rotate the arms out externally as you take them up. Take the arms a little wider, externally rotate a little more, re-extend. Relax the throat, the grip on the neck. Have a sense that the root of the inner thigh descends, rather than feeling like you're gripping it and lifting it up. And back down to Anjali Mudra. Interlock the fingers, extend. Make sure you're not gripping your shoulders and roll the outer arm down as you extend up. Leave a little more from the inner arm. Again, release the root of the leg. Buttock skin moves down, floating ribs widen and ascend. Okay, back to Anjali Mudra. Odd finger interlock, re-extend the arms, and go up. And back down. Anjali Mudra. Go into Adho Mukha Svanasana, down dog. Make the circle of the palm as big as you can, and then extend each and every finger. Extend out of the armpits, collarbones, lengthen the torso from armpit through sit bone. Keep the neck long though. Throat open, don't overdrop the head or tuck the chin in. Press the ball mounds of the toes, lift the toes to extend them so you have a sense that the shin and the inner thigh are lifting up, not pushing back. They'll go back, but the action should be for them to ascend into the socket. Then ascend off that. Lengthen the space of the groin. There's not a lot of actual movement in space, but energetically you're ascending. So Iyengar said, you don't have to die to ascend. bend the knees, come down to stand in Tadasana. We're going to take a couple standing poses, so if you need any blocks or chairs to the side, have those ready to go. Okay, I already taught a class and did a bunch of yoga with that one, so I'm not going to be doing all the poses with you this morning. I'll do some of them. So first just be in Tadasana. Don't wait for some future Tadasana. Be here now. So by now, most of you know intuitively the basic dynamics of grounding the four corners of the feet to activate the arch. The legs are not just pushed backward, they're drawn up and internally rotated to the socket. Ascend from the groin. So from behind the pubis, you're ascending through the sternum. Sit bones and sacrum widening, pelvic rims rolling in. Invite the tailbone into the space in front of it. You don't push using your gluteus. It's a subtler releasing action. And then from the tip of the coccyx, ascend the front of the spine to the base of the skull. So you have front body, inner body extension, back inner body, and they run parallel. Relax the shoulders as the spine ascends. And of course, there's wobbling, there's swaying that'll happen. And gradually keep applying that intelligence, that non-conceptual intelligence. Okay, take Trikonasana to the right. Uttita Trikonasana to the right side. Again, draw the legs up. Align the crown of your head with your tailbone. Are you leaning forward or leaning backwards? Align the crown of the head with your tailbone as best you can. Feel that. So that again, as in Tadasana, from the tailbone, you're extending to the base of the skull at the front of the spine. And from the pubic plate, you're extending through the sternum. Those two parallel lines. Inner front body, inner back body. And inhale, breath brings you out of the pose. And take Trikonasana to the left. So find your breath, find your base. Align the crown of the head with the tailbone so you're not leaning forward or backward. Adjust. The tailbone might have to move in a little bit. And then extend from the coccyx to the base of the skull, along the front of the spine. Extend from the pubic bone through the sternum in the front of the torso. 2 parallel lines of extension. And inhale, breath, come out of the pose. Back to Tadasana. Okay, I don't know if you saw the moon last night, but it was almost Ardha Chandra, not quite, right? I hope you saw it. It was quite nice. So let's take Ardha Chandrasana to the right side. If you're having a wobbly balance day, you can use a wall. If you're using a wall, see if you can get the upper shoulder blade to contact the wall. Again, align the crown of the head with the spine. Katie, extend the right side of your neck. Everybody keep the right side of your neck long. And then again, those 2 parallel lines, tailbone to the base of the skull, pubis through sternum, having a sense of lifting off the right arm, right leg. That's great, Kathleen. Just take your upper arm a little behind you. Bend your elbow. If you can, put it more up by your head. Use your wall rope. That would be great. Okay, everybody, come down. It is like herding cats. All right, Ardha Chandrasana to the other side. This moon should be rising, not setting, okay? Use a wall if you're having a wobbly day. Line up the crown of the head with the coccyx. If you're on the wall, see if you can get the upper shoulder blade to touch. You can also rest the right hand on the hip and roll the shoulder elbow back. 2 parallel lines of extension is the focus this morning. Raise the right hip and thigh as much as you can, Mangala. Come on, lift it up. If you fall over, you fall over. It's okay. Come on, Betsy, lift the leg more. More. There you go. Yep. And then everybody come down, step down out of the pose, step back to Tadasana. That moon was setting, I think. All right, take a strap. If you don't have a strap, well, that's okay. There's one by your block, man. And have the strap so you measure the wrist shoulder width apart. And then we're gonna take warrior 1, moving the wrists, palms up, using the help of the sensation of the strap. Okay? Extend those arms as if they're coming up from the floating ribs. You keep that outer armpit deltoid rolling forward, inner armpit back and up. If you don't have any neck issues, take the head back. Otherwise, just keep the neck neutral. Now, Patty, take the arms back, behind your ears. There you go. Now lift out of the lumbar again, everybody. And then inhale, breath lifts you up out of that side, change sides. All right, extending up from the groin and lumbar spine to bend your front leg. If possible, keep the arms aligned with or slightly behind the ears. Extend the wrists, extend the palms. Extend more from the pinky finger side. Take the head back if you don't have any neck problems, but immediately ascend out of the lumbar. And then tailbone to base of skull, pubic bone through sternum, 2 parallel lines again. You're not trying to push the spine to the chest. You have to ascend the front body for the spine to ascend more. Okay, if you have your head back, bring it to neutral. Extend the left leg, lower the arms, and go back into Tadasana. Okay. So, here's one of the greatest hits. You turn the chair upside down, right? You put a blanket inside. If you don't have a chair, you can use toes up the wall. So the back of the chair is away from
William,
you.
I can't see the chair.
Right, I was just going to switch that.
Oh,
there we go. All right, so the first order of business is to try not to impale yourself on the legs of the chair. And I like to put a mat there.
Oh, shoot.
So the seat of the chair is toward you, and the back of the chair is away from you. So if I had the chair with the back of the chair facing me in the vertical position, all I need to do is turn it. Okay? Okay. Then you put your heel into the chair and extend into pascimotanasana. You can start at the top of the legs or keep the bar. Some of you have a back bar, you can use that. Or the lower leg. Some of you might be able even to go to the floor. Press the inner heel, big toe mount. Look up over the back seat of the chair slightly. Those of you who are, yeah, that's it, Mongoli, you got it. The hands are down though, it's not a twist. It's not a twist. Yeah, that's it. Those of you who can drop the hands down and extend and take the torso down more, do that. Now pull back from the right hip and roll the left hip and thigh a little forward toward the chair. Okay. Carefully inhale, breath, come up. Wait there. Keep the right foot on the chair. Not the wrong foot, the right foot. Okay. Now we are going to go into the twist. You can use the back bar, or you can drop down to the leg of the chair and turn. Right arm goes up. You can step the chair more to the midline, that helps. The foot more to the midline, that helps. Extend the sole of that right foot, pull up on the inner left thigh. Align the crown of the head with your tailbone. Mangala, try putting your right hand on your hip and then rolling open a bit. Good, yeah. Good, yes. And then carefully bring the right hand down. Inhale, breath, come up and change sides.
Oh my God.
I don't know if you're doing Thanksgiving next Thursday, but let's make room for pie anyway. So forward extension first. The heel of the foot is inside the chair. Extend. Extend forward. Bring the hands down as far as your capacity will permit. Now draw the inner right thigh up and lengthen out of that groin, front and back body long. Even when the head comes down, front body stays long. Okay, inhale, breath, come up. Oops. And then taking the twist. Press into the big toe. That's it. Good use of the wall there, Joy. Open up. Turning, bring the left hand down. And then inhale, breath, come up. Carefully step out of the chair.
Yeah.
And Bob's your uncle. Okay. Okay, lie on your abdomen. See how checking to see, okay, good. Bring the elbows under the armpits. Extend the right leg, lift it up, internally rotate it and set it down. Extend the left leg, lift it up, internally rotate it and set it down. Contract the hamstrings, tuck the buttocks in. Pressing the forearms, lift off the upper arms. Look forward or up slightly. Gradually begin to straighten your arms. Lift up out of the lumbar. Tuck and lift out of the lumbar. Tuck and lift out of the lumbar. Front body, pubis through sternum, ascending. Walk the hands in a little more. Bhujangasana. If you need to bend the elbows, that's fine. So a snake rears up and back. If you can, take the head back, unless you have neck issues. Walk the hands in a little closer if you can. Pubic plate stays on the floor. Shoulders down. Look forward or up slightly. If you can't look up too much, at least look forward. Okay, and slowly lengthen forward to lower the torso. Just turn your head to the side and rest. Okay, Lift the torso, lift the chest, extend the arms back, lift the wrists up level with your sockets. Then lift from the root of the inner thigh to lift up. Sarvangasana. Buttocks tucked in. Look forward if you can't look up too much. Arms are alongside the body. Now, if you can, interlock your fingers behind your back and draw back and lift up a little more. Then recharge the lift from the inner thigh. Legs off the ground. Release the interlock of the fingers. Come down, turn the head to the side, rest for a bit. Okay. Now this time, simultaneously lift the inner thigh and chest up, arms extending back. And then extend the arms forward. Try and keep the wrists level with or higher than your armpits. Look up or slightly forward. Lift the root of the leg, not just the foot. And bring the torso down. Go into downward dog. Okay, lie back down on your belly. Bend the knees, grab your ankles, go into bow pose. If you can't grab your ankles, just bend the knees. Lift the thighs up a little bit. So the arms are now the bowstring. Lift the thigh to lift up. So lift the thigh to pull back. People sometimes just think they have to pull back. Lift the thigh, lift the chest, look forward or head back if you can. Relax your eyebrows, Susan. And no fair turning the camera off. That's cheating. Okay, slowly lower the legs and torso. Release. Okay, get a bolster. Now, so the pelvis here is a little bit on the lower part of the bolster. Right? The knees stay on the floor. Knees stay on the floor. Dorsiflex your feet and pull back. Especially good for folks who don't get much lift from the floor variation. Knees stay on the ground. If you're too far forward on the bolster, you'll tip forward. So be a little more toward the back lower half of the bolster with your pelvis. So you're not trying to lift the legs, you're just oh, good, that's it. Relax your eyebrows. Look forward or up if you can. You want to feel like you're on the prow of the ship slicing through the South Pacific. And lower the torso, lower the head. Bali high. We'll call you. Okay. Maybe I'll just sing the whole score. Some enchanted evening. Okay. One more little back bend here. Somewhat similar, but slightly different orientation of gravity. Rolling back into Ustrasana. If you can't touch your heels, you can put a chair back there or a bolster across your calves or 2 blocks. Ustrasana. Press from toenail to knee. Squeeze the front hips and thighs toward one another to bring the outer hips forward. Contracting the hamstrings, ascend the floating ribs to dome the chest. Head back if you can, otherwise all the way forward. Outer hips forward. Reground toenail to knee, toenail to knee. Tailbone in, increase the back bend dome with your inhale breath and come out of the pose. Being thankful for impermanence, it's not all bad. And go into downward dog. On the knees, sit back on the heels, rest with the head down. Breathe into the back. All right, then round it back a little and sit up. And then take sirsasana at balance. If you can, take sirsasana at balance. If you're not doing that, you can take any forward bend with head support. Uttanasana. Prasarita Uttanasana is, I would recommend, but otherwise do sirsasana. Yeah, John, put a blanket on the chair. The chair is cold, hard, unforgiving, like the world, like samsara. Now, put your forearms on the chair, John, above your head. Cross your wrists, but then take your head down. There you go. That's it. Yeah. So, for most people, you have 70-80% of the weight on your forearms. More and more, the head can bear more weight as long as you're not compressing the neck. But there is going to be some weight on the head, even with the strength of the arms rooting. But see that you're not pushing the brain to the floor. The skull bears the weight, but you're relaxing the brain inside the skull. You're still ascending the arms, widening and lifting through the shoulder blades. Side body long from armpit through the hips. If you only can stay a brief period, that's okay. You can come down and rest. You can go into some sort of head-supported forward bend. Maybe just Uttanasana, whatever works for you. extend your instep, inner arch through big toe mound. The mound of the big toe should make that the highest point as you wide. That's it. Better, mound. Yeah. Wide feet are happy feet. I've heard that somewhere. All right. If you can take Baddha Konasana, do that. Otherwise, just stay where you are. If you're done, you can come down, of course. Navel back, pubis back, tailbone up and in. That. Now, Katie, take the toes backward a little. Yeah, right. And then if those of you, the next variation would be Upavista or re-extending the legs back to sirsasana. Keep a strong Tadasana foot. Inner thighs strongly grounding into the groin, the socket. And then extending through the groin, bring the legs back up to sirsasana. Groin to heel. Lovely. And then the breath takes you out of sirsasana. Yeah. I can tell that V is getting restless, so let's do Supta Virasana. Just kidding. Use as much height as you need or as little as you need. Sitting in Virasana, lying back. If Virasana is not in your picture due to any hip knee issues, you can always do Supta Baddha Konasana, or you can go in the kitchen and make chai while we do this pose. So have you made friends with Supta Virasana yet? Or you just, okay, I'll do it, but I don't have to like it. That's your attitude, Patty? PZ, not PL. Your attitude as well? I'll do it because it's good for me, but I don't have to like it. That's okay, you're still doing it. So lying back, soften the organs underneath the stretch of the belly and the heart center, and invite those organs to release and descend. Let's see what CG's up to. Oh, the chair variation. Putting a bolster inside the chair. Yeah, that works. You can also go the other way, but that works. Just kind of the legs are in the way, but you can hang on to them. So bowl of the pelvis, softening, deepening, groins releasing diagonally from the pelvic rib to the root of the inner thigh. Take the arms over the head. If you're on a large height, you can clasp your elbows. But interlock with the odd arm first. If you're interlocking, interlock with the odd arm first. And again, those of you who are extending, extend the arms as if they begin from your floating ribs. And then widen, release the floating ribs away from the grip of the spinal column, internally. So you don't have to grip at the kidneys, the lower back ribs, in order to open the upper rib cage. that works. Okay. Now, Christiane, you put all of that effort into getting into the pose. You might as well stay a while. Okay. Ooh, now I'm jealous, Leah. You got those rings to hold on. Very nice. Now, if you're clasping the elbows, switch the grip now. So you get both sides. How about I replace my jealousy with sympathetic joy? Mudita. Gradually sit up out of Siddharasana. And extend your legs. Every time Steve walks through the yoga room, he has to do a pose. So. Did he hear that? Good enough. I'll take that. Okay. All right. Viparita dandasana in the chair. Supported back arch. If you don't have a chair, do cross bolsters. If you don't have a yoga chair, Christmas is coming. Maybe Santa will bring you a yoga chair. Joy. Can you do? I know you have the neck issue, so maybe you need that support. I was wondering if you could do the pose with a little bit of a tipping back of the head, or if that's not good for your neck, you're more in a Setu-bandha, which is okay. I just don't want you to strain, but give it a try and see. If it doesn't come, then say la vie.
How would I do that, William?
Okay. Well, you have the two bolsters, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to have to use blankets. I might have to get 3 bolsters now that Mira's taking the class.
Yes, Christmas is coming.
That's when Jews eat Chinese, right?
Hanukkah's coming. Yes.
Okay. So, can you see, Joel?
Yeah. Yes.
So instead of sliding back to Setu Bandha, I'm more like this.
Oh, so shoulders not on the floor.
Right. If you still need that little blanket roll here, you can use that.
Okay. Got it.
Give it a try. You know?
Yeah.
If you need to slide back to Setu Bandha, okay.
Like this?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, those of you who do the arm over the head variation, you can add that at any time or not at all, depending on the day. Now, re-extend the legs so there's as much extension from the hip to the heel as there is from the hip through the fingertips. Or you can keep the arms in the basic position. Dome the chest. Don't just hang off the chair. Extend the front of the thoracic spine out of the lumbar. Looks good. A little more challenging stage next is, if you can, slide off until the crown of the head goes to the floor. Bring your hips to the edge of the chair. Or stay in that position, or if you're done, you're done. You can come out of the pose. So as we go progressively, you either stay, try the next position. You'll not always be able to do the next stage. If you can bring the crown of the head to the floor, bring your hands into head balance position. You can bend your knees or keep them straight depending on your capacity. Or if you sit up out of the chair, go ahead and do your little right-left twist. Nice. Now, Betsy, if you can, ground your forearms, wrists, ground your heels, lift your butt off the chair. And actually ascend into the pose a little bit. Ah, there you go. Now sharp lift in the shoulder blades. Side armpit ribs straight up. Okay, release, come out of the pose. Everybody come up and out. Arch the back a little. Betsy, you can also press up into Urdhva Dhanurasana from there. Assuming that would be something you'd like to do. I never know. Depends.
Right.
All right. Everybody's doing their spontaneous yoga kriya of twisting, which is fine. Okay, now it's time for sarvangasana. Sarvangasana. All the limbs is what that actually means. Which I guess you could call every pose sarvangasana. on with my earbuds?
Spontaneous or something.
My earbuds are channeling Major Tom, I think.
William, it's on
First-
again. You need to put me on mute.
That's you. Okay. Thank you, Joy. I thought it was Major Tom. Extend those legs. Move the middle buttock. Did you know you had a middle buttock? From the middle of the pelvic rib to the sit bone. Activate the inner glutes to move the hips up. Tailbone go. Ramanan once said it's impossible to move the tailbone in too much in this pose. But the legs and middle buttock have to ascend to do that. May be right, I may be wrong. Try it out, see how it works for you. If you're on the chair, of course, that's going to be a little different. You want to extend the back leg more, John. Take the leg a little farther back, toward the back of the chair. Right, good. So when the ankles are over the hips, it often feels like the legs are a little too far back.
William,
Yes, please.
I cannot go up straight. It comes out like tilted.
Then put feet at the wall.
How can I put the feet in the wall?
Oh, I'll show you. You just set your blankets up a little bit away from the wall.
Yeah.
Now, you're going to have to play with it for the size of your torso. And I have my back, and I roll in,
Okay.
and then I walk up the wall like this.
Okay.
That's a good way to do the pose if you find yourself with the legs forward or you can't get a good lift.
Yeah.
You can also, give that a try.
Am I positioning myself now rightly to hit the ball here? Like this?
Yes.
So the head would be here.
Yes.
Ah.
That is correct. Yeah. Let me get a better look here. Okay. So the shoulder head position is the same.
Cool.
When you go up the wall, you keep your feet on the wall. Keep your feet on the wall. Bend your knees, Svedar. Now lift the hips up by pressing your feet into the wall.
Yeah, my hips
Just
are up.
don't even bother taking the legs off the wall.
Okay.
If you want to do one leg at a time, you can try that.
Okay.
Yeah, good. There you go.
Send you an email with all of my injuries.
Yeah.
Okay. My body's aged.
Yeah.
Because I did
Okay.
run in those things. Woohoo!
Okay. Happiness comes. Okay. All right. Everybody's been in the pose a while now, so take halasana. Move the back of the hips up. And take the legs wide to Supta Konasana. Move the inner back body, inner back body, inner back body. Move the body up through the hips. Oh, that's one way to get out of it. Take your earbuds. All right. All right, bring the legs back together. Arms over the head. Grab your feet if you can. Otherwise, just arms over the head. Ground the arm. Move the side waist and back, inner hips up. If that's not doable, you just roll out of the pose. Now, move the sitting bones and the heels away from each other, opposite direction. That's good. Now, there's going to be some gripping compression in the throat, so release as much of that as you can. And then release and roll down out of it. Hey, Patty, maybe if you do the pose well, I'll give you a treat. Pavlov. All right, folks, roll to the side, sit up. Let's take Bharadvajasana 1. So the legs outside the left hip. The right heel should be to the outer thigh. You're not sitting on it. Knees straight ahead. Take a little height under the right hip so you don't tip over. And then twist to your right. If you have to sit well up, you can put a block behind you. So the left hand fingers point to the floor, or if possible, start to go under the outer thigh. Then bend the right elbow and open that collarbone. And then open the left collarbone and ascend from the left floating rib. Feel free to lean into the back arm slightly to get more twist initially. And keep that ascending twist from the left floating rib lumbar and turn your head forward. Keep the twist, slightly relax the grip on the abdominal wall so you're not gripping the organs. And then release the pose, change sides. Change sides. So now the right heel is just right ankles over the left instep. The left heel is just to the outer right thigh. You're not sitting on it, but have enough height so you're not tilted. Take the left arm back and the right arm across. Bend that back arm, open that collarbone up the chest. Then open the right collarbone. Ascend from the right lumbar floating rib to twist. Go ahead and lean into the back arm a little, a couple of times. Perfectly okay to move that way. Then keeping that ascending twist from the right lumbar floating rib, turn the head forward, but then re-establish your Tadasana in the collarbones and the shoulder blades. And then release and come out of that pose. Okay. Stretch your legs out. Head supported paschimo. Use a bolster, a blanket, a chair. Block. Should be very easy to get the head down. Come a little toward the brows. Open the throat, lengthen the neck. Shavasana. all beings everywhere. May they be safe, protected, happy, healthy.
Pranamada, Pranamadam, Pranapanamadachite, Pranasya Panamadaya, Panamavivavashishite.
Om
Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Vyo Namaha Hari Om.
Namaste. Thank you, thank you. This class next Saturday as usual. I mean, who's going anywhere for Thanksgiving? Nobody.
The airports in Chicago are packed.
Really?
People are nuts.
Weird. People are nuts. Yeah.
They're just nuts.
Oh well, if you find any votes lying around, let me know.
Have a nice Thanksgiving, William.
You too, everybody. I'm thankful for all of you so much. Yeah.
Have a good Thanksgiving.
Likewise.
Thank you, William G.